Hello everyone, welcome to the FineReport Advanced Learning tutorial. Today the lesson will be on the multi-data source report, and we'll go over a couple examples for the multi-data source report. And very first, let's take a look at our main content. So we have section 1, simple multi-data source report, section 2, complex multi-data source report, and section 3, multi-source and multi-section report. So let's go over them one by one. So very first, let's go over a simple multi-data source report. As you can see from the table, we have the two table information, table 1 consumer, table 2 orders, and the idea is to use different data source to make one report showing in this picture. Alright, so first, let's create our database query. So very first, we're going to select everything from consumer. That's going to be one of the data source we need to use for making this one report. Alright, so second, let's create another database query, which is the orders table. So still going to use select all from orders. All right. Next, let's start making our table. So the idea is to using different informations, different data table from these two data set we just created, the consumer and also the orders. So first, we're going to make a title for this report. So we have the consumer name and also we have the city, the country, and as you can see, these are all information from the left side consumer table, because we're going to drag the corresponding data table to the cells. So this is all the information we need to use from table 1, the consumer. And also we need to have the summary of the total amount of the orders, which is from the order table. So next, we're going to double click on this cell, which is DS2, the amount. And in here, we have to use a filter to make the customer ID between these two tables, consumer and orders, equal. So in this way, all the information will be corresponding together. So in here, we have to use the consumer ID equal to data column, DS1, consumer ID. All right. So that's pretty much done with the first table making. And one last thing, we have to make the data setting for the amount becomes to summary, since we want to have the summary of this information. So this is a simple idea for making a multi-data source report. So the example 1 is only the simple multi-data source report. So in here we didn't do a lot of complex operation. The only thing we did was to using filter function to connect these two tables. And the very last, we're gonna make a little bit adjustment for this format, expanding a little bit to see clearly for this information. All right, so far we're already done the example 1, making a simple multi-data source report. And then let's save it and preview it. All right, let's preview it. So this is the idea. As you can see, we have all the information from the consumer. Also, we have the information, which is amount from the second table, the orders. So that's a one simple multi-data source report we just made. So that's pretty clear for the very first example, the simple multi-data source report. And second, we have the complex multi-data source report. So in here, we use 5 different tables to make a report and also use formula to calculate the total amount. So let's make another one. So as we open the designer, as you can see, we already have the pre-made five building dataset. So as you click editing for one of the building dataset, which is the project information, we can see the pre-entered information from the table. So this is just for the convenience. And let's open another one to see what's inside the table. So if we click on the quantity of project editing, we can see the project ID and also the quantity. So all of these are different data source, as you can see, which is the building dataset. And what we want to do is to make a one report, which is using all of these five building datasets. And also we have to have a connection between them so they can have the right information, which is corresponding to different project ID. All right, so now let's making the complex multi-data source report. So very first, we're gonna enter in different titles for the report. So as we're making the table, the idea for making a complex multi-data source report is still using one thing in common, which is the key, main key, from the five building dataset to connect them together. So in this way, the information we have will be corresponding to the key. So in here, the key is going to be the project ID. So since all of these building datasets have the same corresponding project ID. So in the future, we're going to use the filter to make all of this information from the data column will have the same project ID. All right, so we have the project ID, the project name, the quantity, the total amount of 2020, the finance department, and also we have the initial fundraising, and now we have the donation. So we're gonna expanding a little bit for the row one to make a title for this report. All right, so 2020 fundraising plan. So next, we're gonna drag the corresponding information to the corresponding cell. So we're going to use project informations, project ID, and the project name. And also we have the quantity from the quantity of project. So remember, we have the project ID from the project information dataset. So in here, we have to use filter to make the project ID from the last dataset quantity of project equal to A3, which is the project information project ID. So also you can use data column as well to make them equal to the project informations, project ID as well. So in here, we're gonna use another way, just directly equal to the cell A3. So next, I'm gonna use the finance department, drag the volume to this one, and also I'm using filter to make this datasets project ID equals to A3. So this dataset is the money from National Finance Department. Next, we have the internal fundraising, which is using the second building dataset. And we have the volume as well. So still, same thing, we're gonna make this dataset's project ID equals to the project information project ID, which is A3. So next we have the donation, still the volume. And we're gonna repeat the same operation to make the corresponding project ID from the dataset one. Money from donation equals to A3. All right. So next, I'm gonna insert the formula for the total money amount of 2020. So in here, we have to insert this formula equals to a D3 equals to sum E3 to G3. So the E3 to G3 is the different money amount from the finance department internal fundraising and also donation. So in here, we have to sum them all to make the final total money amount of 2020. All right. So next, we're gonna merge A4 and B4 to make another title for this report, which is the total. So in here, we have to enter different formula to sum all of the total. So first, we have the corresponding C3. So sum C3 for the C4, which is the quantity. So same thing, we have the all of them have the sum as well. So as you just drag them, you can see the corresponding sum D3, sum E3, sum F3, and sum G3. So in here, just the total number indicates different index. So next, we're gonna make the style, adjust the style a little bit. Still gonna use the predefined style, the green color. And also we're gonna adjust the indicates the index as well to use the predefined color, make them centered. So by far, we're already finished done with the multi-data source report making. Right now, we just do a little bit adjusting for the final display result. Just to make the report look a little bit better. All right. So still, we're gonna save it first. And next, let's preview the final result for the multi-data source report, which is the complex one. So as you can see, we have the project ID and the corresponding different information. So in here, we're still using the same idea to binding the project ID from different data set. So in this way, they have the corresponding same information. So last, we have the multi-source and multi-section report. So as you can see from this sample report, we have the three different sections, section 1, section 2, section 3 in different color. And also we're going to use different data source to making this one report. So let's open the designer. Very first, this time we're going to create our database query. So first table is going to be select all from orders. And then here we'll have to enter a little bit more circle to make one of the information have the area. So in here we have the ship method equals to EPS. And also we have the employee ID is less than 1010. So let's call this one orders. Next, I'm going to create our second database query, which is our products. So select all from products. So in this one, we don't have to using too much circle. All we have to do is all from products. Next, we'll have our final database query, which is the orders detail. Still, we're gonna select all from orders detail. All right. So let's call this one orders detail. So I have to rename it. All right. So by far, we already have the three main dataset created: the orders detail, and also the products. And remember, we have some condition from the orders to make the information only for UPS, and also the employee ID is less than certain amount. So now let's start making this report. So very first, as we merge this large area from A1 to C1, I'm gonna insert the slope line to make a combined title, which is product slash quantity, and also slash others. All right. So before we move to D1, let's edit this slope line to make couple space for the products. So in this way, you can see the products a little bit better for the adjusting. All right. So next, we have the product type. From the products table, we're going to drag the product type to D1 and also let the product type expanding in the horizontal direction. Okay. So next, we'll have other informations, which is we're going to use from the orders table. So first, we have the, let's see, the shipping method. So we're going to drag this to A2. And also we have the employee ID, dragging them into B2. And the next we have the quantity. In here we're going to type the quantity by ourselves. And also the price. So we're going to merge the A2, A3 and B2, B3 for the shipping method under the employee ID. So from the employee ID we have the different quantity and price. Also the quantity and price from the orders detail. And in here, remember we have to use summary since we want to see the summary of the data cell. All right, so we have a rough looking for the general body for the table. So next, what we have to do is to use filter condition to make sure that the orders detail, order ID is equal to the orders, order ID, and also the orders detail, product ID is equal to the products, product ID. So in this way, all the information will be corresponding to the uniform. So we have the two conditions for the quantity, and also we're gonna do the same thing for the price. So orders detail order ID equals to the orders order ID, and also the product ID for order details is equal to the products product ID. All right, so we have these two conditions insert, and remember this is gonna be our section one from A3 to D3, and the orders quantity and the price were expanding according to different shipping method because they have the left parent cell, which is A3. So next, we're gonna make our section 2, which is the total quantity and price. So remember, this is gonna be our section 2, which is gonna be the general sum of the quantity and the price. So for this quantity and price, which is D4 and D5, all we have to do is to copy and paste a D2 and D3 because they're gonna have different left parent cell. So for section 2, they're gonna have the left parent cell, which is the total, and so this way they're gonna have the summary of everything. And remember, as we copy and paste, we're gonna have the make sure that we have the same filter condition for this quantity and price as well. All right, so now let's make our last session, the session 3. So in this way, we want to make sure that the quantity and price will expanding according to different sales manager. So in here, what is input sales manager and also the employee ID to the B6 from the others. Alright, so next we're going to use data dictionary to make sure that the employee ID will display in the employee name. So we have the display data dictionary. The database is going to be FRDemo, and also the database table is going to be the employee, because the employee have the same employee ID as others. So all we have to do is change the display value to employee name. And also we're going to do this same thing for B2 as well for the employee ID. So while they gonna display in the final result, we'll have the corresponding employee name instead of the employee ID. So that's the idea. And also we have the quantity and price. As I said, gonna expanding according to different sales manager. And since we have the left parent cell, which is the sales manager, the employee ID, all we have to do is to copy and paste the all these details, quantity and price in the sum formation. And let's check, make sure that we have the filter condition wrote in here as well. All right. So next, let's adjust the format a little bit. So first, we're gonna adjust the title to the predefined title. Let's start. Still gonna use the green style. And also, we're gonna make our section 1 display in different style. So the light green. And also section 2, the total, it's gonna use for, let's choose another different color, the light blue. And maybe this one. Alright, so next we have the sales manager. Let's change this color for section 3 to the brown color, just for recognize as the example shows. Alright, so right now we're pretty much done with the main body, the main report making. And let's do a little bit adjustment for the format. Alright, so we're gonna make them left looking for this final result for the price and the quantity. So next I'm gonna save this one as our multi-source and the multi-section report. All right. So we're pretty much done with this report making. So one last step, we have to change the page setup from template to adjust the final page looking to make sure that one page will fit in all the tables. So just a little bit adjustment for this page setup to change the width and the height. So next, let's hit the preview to see our final result. Oops, for the one last thing, as I mentioned before, we have to change the looking for the employee ID to the employee name to look better for the table. So we're going to do the exact same operation, select the employee table and also make the display value to the employee name. Perfect. So that's everything for this report making. Let's preview this, see the final result. All right, so what we see is the multi-source and the multi-section report. So what we used is the three database query dataset from this table, and also we have the three different sections expanding according to different left parent cell. So that's going to be everything for today for the multi-data sales report. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you next class.